1933 in a little place called Raccoon Valley. There was a boy that was born there. His name was Clarence Raby. Oh, Clarence could do no wrong in Mama's eyes. She loved him. I mean, that time he stole the money out of the offering plate at the church in Clinton. Oh, that was because he was around his older brother. Bad influence. It wasn't him. And that time when he was 15 years old and snatched that woman's purse and stole it. It was the brother again, you know. It wasn't him. His mama was always taking up for Clarence. I like to actually call this story Mama's Cornbread. That's what I like to call it, which will make sense in a minute. Well, anyways, Clarence didn't do very good in school, but man, he was something when it came to being out in the mountains. That boy could hunt, he could fish, he could trap. Him and his brothers would go out in those hills in Raccoon Valley, and they would stay gone sometimes for weeks at a time with nothing but their dogs. No food, no nothing. Camping in caves. They knew every creek, every trail, everything. Those boys were just natural-born mountain boys. Well, anyways, by the time Clarence got into 8th grade, both him and his brother dropped out of school. Okay? And started getting involved in some petty crimes. Started going through the juvenile system. And even robbed a gas station in a place called Norris, Tennessee. Robbed a gas station there. And the only person that knew he did it was the owner of the store who got robbed by this kid. Well, went to trial, and his mama swore up and down that her baby was in the bed that night. It was impossible for him to do it, so Mama got him out of it. I think he got a 2-year suspended sentence for that. Well, anyways, by the time Clarence was 18, he got his first car, and he started traveling up and down those roads and finally made his way to the big city of Knoxville. And there, him and his brother started breaking into homes. Now, his brother was really reckless. His brother would just do things spontaneously. But Clarence, the younger of the two, he would study a place for weeks before he would act. He was studying people's moves, when they came, when they left, what time they turned their lights out. He was studying them just like he was studying those wild animals when he was a little boy. And then he would strike. So anyways, they break into a couple places. Then one night they break into a cafeteria. It was like some sort of wholesale cafeteria. And they go in there and they break in a bunch of stuff. Side of the alarm goes off. And the cops are like following them. And the cops aren't sure if it's really them or not. Well, no sooner than they leave there, they go and they break into a house. And when they thought it was empty, there was a whole family there asleep. So they took the entire family hostage at gunpoint. Stole the man's 12-gauge rifle, or shotgun, stole his rifle, and stole a .357 Magnum. Left out of there, went into another business and stole a safe. And by the time they came out, the whole place was surrounded by cops, and the chase was on. I don't know, 30 miles in the back roads before somehow Clarence and them got back to Raccoon Valley, because they knew those back roads way better than the Knoxville cops did. They finally get back to Raccoon Valley, they ditch the car, and they take off in the woods. Or maybe, 1958, because he's 18 years old at this time. Bloodhounds, the whole 9 yards. They couldn't catch them. They couldn't figure out why the bloodhounds would not track them at all. But it was because both of the boys just rubbed turpentine all over their legs and their feet, and something about the dogs, they just knew that they couldn't smell them. So they got away for 3 days, and when they finally caught the boys, they were literally back at home eating their mama's good cooking while the cops were out there in those woods. So they both get arrested and sent to get their mind right at a place called Brushy Mountain Prison. Now, we all know they call it the Department of Corrections, but there's little corrections going on at Brushy Mountain Prison. It was more like mining a lot of coal and getting a first-class education in the art of the criminal mind. By the time They had been in there, they got sentenced there for 3 years. And by the time they had been there 6 months, they had learned robbing and killing and everything in between. And one night, while both of them were working in the kitchen, one brother got in a garbage bag and another brother got in the other garbage bag, and some other convicts threw them on the garbage truck, and they rode out. And as they were leaving the prison, they rolled out of the garbage bags. Boom, they're in the woods. Another bloodhound hunt. Bloodhounds can't track them because, once again, they put turpentine on themselves. They can't be caught. Helicopters come in. For 2 weeks, they can't find them. Finally, the older brother is like, Clarence, man, I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired. I'm giving myself up. So he gave himself up. Clarence stayed on the run. The younger brother, now on his own, he stayed on the run for another several days. Finally got caught. Threw him back and brushed him out in prison, where he would serve the remainder of his 3 years. But he made a promise then that they would never put him in prison again. And that's something he would end up living up to. As for his older brother, man, he changed his life. Boom, he walked away from crime. He was done with it. But Clarence right away went right back to his old ways, breaking into houses, robbing gas stations. He was in Knoxville. He robbed another business at gunpoint. But the final straw came. He got arrested in Knoxville, him and a friend of his, and they were put into jail, but during the day they put him on work detail and let him pick up trash down the highway or whatever. Well, they escaped, and the first thing they did is they broke into a lady's house, a lady who was living by herself, and they stole her Pontiac and stole a gun from her. And then they left there, and the car was out of gas. They made it to Clinton. But they get to that gas station before it was get and go, and they don't have any money, so they fill the car up with gas, and they're just supposed to speed off and leave. Well, Clarence looks inside big plate glass window, and he sees the owner in there counting money in the cash register. And so Clarence grabs a 12-gauge shotgun out of the trunk of the car and starts walking towards the gas station. The owner sees him and just takes off running, and then Clarence just shoots right through the glass window and kills the guy, robs it. I think he got $18. So then there's a complete manhunt for Clarence. And so he ends up back at Raccoon Valley. This time they've got helicopters everywhere. He is now on the FBI most wanted list. He steals another car. Deputies start chasing him. He's out by Big Ridge Park and State Park, and they get into a car chase there. The deputy wrecks, and he's stuck in the middle of the road. Clarence ditches his car, and he runs up to a farm. An old man goes, "Son, can I help you? Do you need a ride?" And Clarence was like, "Yeah, I sure do." So he gets in the car with the guy, puts a gun to his head, makes him drive. They get back out to the road. Deputy sees him. Deputy opens fire. Clarence fires back. Clarence kills the cop. Shot him right in the face. And so now he is the #1 most wanted man in America. Okay? Kid from Raccoon Valley. And ends up back out there. Massive manhunt. The Tennessee Highway Patrol, the FBI, the TBI, Anderson County Sheriff Department, Knox County Sheriff Department, everybody. They've got over 100 men looking for him. They even had volunteers from a place called Oak Ridge that were out there looking for him. In particular, there was a father and son team that was out there. And in a case of mistaken identity, one of the Knox County sheriffs shot both the Oak Ridge father and the Oak Ridge son out there in the woods, killed the son, crippled the father for life. And then they swore that the Oak Ridge boys shot at them first. So they lied, but other agencies from the FBI had seen it happen. You know, it was kind of the good old boy thing, let's just cover each other's back, but they didn't. There ended up being a huge lawsuit about this, and the father sued Knox County sheriffs for $500,000 and won. But the whole time they're looking for Clarence, they cannot find him. And once again, I don't think they ever would have found him, but he just got tired of running. He went back home, and they found him eating his mama's cooking. And so he turned himself in. Actually, they didn't even find him. He ate and showered up, got in a car with a family member and turned himself in. He just showed up. So anyways, once they get him in jail, they took him to Knoxville. And once they get him in jail, he starts confessing to a whole slew of unsolved crimes and murders. And he's facing the death penalty. Like, he's never going to get out of jail. Well, each day, now this is 1960. Well, each day, the jail allows Clarence's mother to bring him a hot meal right there in his jail cell. Every day, his mama would bring him something. Well, on this one particular day, on October 1st, 1960, his mama brought him a big old cast iron pot of cornbread. And then after she left, Clarence summoned the guards and said, "I've got another confession that I'd like to make." And so they come on in, there's 4 guards, they unlock the thing and let him out of his cell, where he produces a .357 Magnum out of his pants that was buried in his mama's cornbread. He takes all 4 guards hostage, takes their guns. They're now on an elevator coming down. He takes the keys to their squad car. But when the elevator opens on the first floor, it's at the end of the hallway. Every cop from the morning shift and the night shift is in the hallway. It's a shift change. But there was a rule back in those days that cops coming on duty and getting off duty, nobody could have a gun on them. So it's a hallway full of cops, nobody's got a gun. But Clarence. So Clarence has got one, he's holding a gun on his head, marching him down the hallway, when some of the cops are trying to dart into the rooms and Clarence just opens fire. And he just starts mowing them down, making his way to the door. Courthouse lawn is right out there. All he's got to do is just make it there and he's a free man. Right at the end, when he's almost out the door, there was a big window over here and the dispatcher was in the room. And the dispatcher had a gun and fired at him 3 times, and he fired back and he killed the dispatcher. But the dispatcher hit him twice in the stomach. And so he gets out onto the courthouse lawn. He's made it to freedom and he falls down dead. He almost made it. He was the most wanted man in America, right here from Raccoon Valley. And as for his mama, they actually took her to court over that cornbread she made. They had to know the recipe, you know. And so one of the deputy sheriffs got up there on the stand and called her a liar. And she promptly stood up in the courtroom, walked up to him and slapped the taste out of his mouth. She never spent a day in jail. She got away with the entire thing. Hey guys, JD Phillips here from the Appalachian Storyteller. Today's video is sponsored by tnnursery.net.
Family owned and operated in the heart of Appalachia, TN Nursery ships beautiful plants and trees all across America. Perennials, ferns, vines, trees, and much, much more. Click the link in the description to shop America's favorite garden shop for quality landscaping trees and plants. Get 15% off of your order by using promo code STORYTELLER at checkout.